I've been planning on doing a video on this 1980 Rabbit diesel. Kind of a cool story about this car. Man, it's starting to get really grimy back here. As you can see, this is not a stock 1980 diesel. This is actually a TDI out of a 2004 Jetta wagon. And this is kind of what I did. I swapped that motor into this car with the help of S&P Automotive. He builds the mounts and ECUs, and you know, this motor's got a bigger turbo on it than stock, and yeah, it's a lot of fun to drive. And this custom radiator, which is a intercooler and radiator in one. You can see the water piping down below going in, and the air piping going on the top. It's gonna split in half. I don't think you can see it. And I'll try to do some like in-car footage driving. I'll tell the story of how I came across this car and kind of why I like it. And yeah, I'll do a quick walk around real quick on this thing. Cool. There's a stock motor that came out of the car. Now you can see how similar they are. I mean, this portion right here, all this looks identical. And even where well, that's the AC compressor. Oh, I wonder if I could use that. Now there's the old original radiator, starter, transmission. I just pulled it out and brought it over here and dumped it in the dirt. But you can see how similar they are. The big difference is this one does not have a turbo on it. It's just naturally aspirated. And I've never driven one of these stock, and I understand they're pretty sluggish. They're pretty low on power, but they get great gas mileage. It is, and I'm not ready to tackle that yet. I want to fix that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. I got too many cars. So I actually have two exhaust tips for this car. You can see a little smoke right there. That's from one of them. But I have this normal one. This one sounds really good, and it's normal and it's kind of cool. But I also have this one, which is goofy as shit, but it's just kind of fun. So I'm gonna swap that out real quick. It's just a V-band clamp underneath. It's really easy to swap out. They got one little clamp right there. Pull it off, swap out the other one, and so I can do some videos. I'll have to figure out a way to stick the camera to the car, but I'll figure that out. It's pretty rad. I was trying to adjust the horizon, and I just pushed this leg down a little bit to get it to set off here, and now my horizon is straight. It's pretty good. I really like that, and it's solid too. It's not like janky because it's off the car right there. Look at that, and the horizon is perfect. It's a nice mount right there. All right, so the story on this car. Oh boy. The seatbelt is insanely annoying. Anybody know a fix for this? Let me know, please, because it takes forever. There we go. I did not know what the deal is with that. My fuel pump sounds weird. All right, let's go for a test drive. So the story about this car, I've got a lot of cars, and people kind of know that I have cars and that I'll take a car because I have a lot of property and space to store them. A friend of mine that knows that I'm into cars had been contacted by somebody about this free 1980 diesel Rabbit, and he was like, I can't take it. He already had a Rabbit at the time, and I kind of liked his Rabbit, so I was like, maybe Lee would want it. And me and and Haley were sitting there watching TV, and he calls me up. He's like, "Hey, my friend's got this 1980 Rabbit that they want to get rid of. It's free." And that's how it started. Now, my dad had a 1980 Rabbit. No, it was probably not a 1980 Rabbit, but it was a first gen, you know, MK1 they would call it, Volkswagen Rabbit. And he drove it down here from Washington to San Diego. You know, he had a crazy paint job on it and stuff. And I remember him saying he was getting like 50 miles to the gallon. I was like, wow, that's crazy. So I kind of like in the back of my head always kind of wanted a Rabbit. And I really enjoy like the anti-smog kind of cars, like the, you know, 1975 and earlier cars. You don't have to smog. Where in diesel world, it's later than that, and you get better amenities with a later vehicle. They're just better cars, you know. They're like got AC and heat and things like that. You get a 70s vehicle, and they don't have all that stuff. So when the opportunity to get this came up, obviously I jumped on it. You know, I was like, I'll take it. And I started researching like what you can do to make it more reliable and more powerful, because that you know, the 80s diesel Rabbit was kind of gutless, and I didn't want that car. So, and the motor was blown in it, or it wasn't running. It wasn't blown. It's still good, but it like someone had messed with it. I don't know what they did. They like broke down for some reason. It wasn't running, and they didn't finish it. But so I took it. Anyways, long story short, I went and got the car. Probably put some pictures in when I got it. It was underneath the tree. Had been sitting there for 20 some years. You know, the tires were dry rotted, and I had to go over there and dig out the wheels and get the tires or the wheels off, go get tires on it, put tires on it, and drag it out of the hole that it was in order to get it out of the property, or off the property that it was at. The person just pulled right in front of me. Awesome. And I started researching and found a company that specializes in putting the, you know, the TDIs, ALH TDIs in, you know, early Mark 1s. And so I started like slowly buying parts to do the swap. Then one day I got into it, and I pulled the car out of the little storage spot that I have, and pulled the motor out and started putting the new motor in, and it was just a nightmare. It was like, you know, when COVID started and all that, and, you know, getting parts and getting all that stuff was just terrible. And then when I put it in, I couldn't get it to start. I couldn't get it to run. I couldn't find the electrical circuit that would stay on with the key on it. It was just a nightmare doing the swap, and I gave up probably 100 times. But then one day I was like, I'm gonna go out and work on the car. And I think I was in between jobs or something, and I had like a week, and I just pushed on it for a whole week straight, and got to start and run. And now I've been driving it. I mean, it needs a stereo, it needs, you know, some things. The air conditioning doesn't work yet, but hopefully it will come summer. It's, you know, California winter now. It's like 70 degrees. It's really cold. But it drives great. It's a little bumpy, or not bumpy, but noisy when it hits the bumps. Like there's something loose in that front left strut. I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm sure I will. But yeah, I've been driving it back and forth to work. It gets like 48 miles to the gallon, and it drives halfway nice. The heater works. For some reason, it won't blow in the cabin because of the, you know, the actuators aren't working, but the heater works, and you know, it still warms up the vehicle. It just doesn't blow hot air on your feet or anything nice, but it warms up the vehicle more than I'm used to than in like my old Courier or my bus or anything like that. That's like my other old cars. Obviously, it's not like a brand new, you know, 2020 Volkswagen, but it was free. I probably got like, you know, some money into the swap and whatnot, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a great commuter. I put a little speaker back here in the back, and it's just one of those JBL speakers, and I got music, and I drive back and forth to work. It's great. And it actually moves well. It's a pretty fast little car for what it is. I'm gonna get on the freeway here in a minute and get back to my exit and go back home. But this is the test drive. hear it on the camera, but there's, I don't know if you can hear that turbo. The blow off. Oh man, it's nice. I love it. Probably gonna pull over and put a different camera angle on for when the freeway, so I don't look like an idiot with the camera like right in front of me. But yeah, it's a pretty nice little car. I think it's a pretty nice little car. Well, that's the 1980 Rabbit in all its glory. I think I have a pretty serious fuel leak somewhere. It's dripping down right there. I gotta find out where that's coming from. I thought I was losing a lot of oil, but it's fuel. So might get better gas mileage once I fix that leak because it's dripping a lot. Everywhere I stopped, just dripping fuel. Look at that. Drip there, drip there, drip there, drips there, drips there. That might be tomorrow's job, to fix that fuel leak. Wow, look at that. All the way in. But that's old cars. You always gotta be working on them, trying to figure out what's wrong with them. But this thing runs pretty good, as you can tell. It's a good running little beast. Till next time.
6.5 hours later.
Well, that's a disaster. Looks like the rod came through the side of the motor. Yeah, so I'll probably pull the motor out. I got another one already, and I'll swap a new one in. I'll try to record it and post it up.